Every Friday, I buy $1,000 a stock. Doesn't matter what the market did that week. Doesn't matter what the headlines say. Friday comes and the money goes in. A big chunk of that has been going into one position for 3.5 years. Right now, I own 2,444 shares of SCHD, and I'm about to show you exactly what that pays me. The real number off my actual statements, not a calculator on some website. I'll warn you now, it's less than you think. When you see it, your first reaction is going to be, that's it? And I want you to sit with that reaction, because understanding why that number is small and why I keep buying anyway is worth a lot more to you than the number itself. So let's get into it. Oh, and a quick reminder that I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. I'm just showing you my portfolio, so do your own research before you do anything with your money. So here's the position, all of it, no hiding. 2,444 shares. My average cost is $27.47 a share. Do that math and it's roughly $67,000 in this one fund. I started building it at the beginning of 2023, so we're about 3.5 years in. And one quick note before somebody does the math and gets confused, SCHD did a 3-for-1 stock split back in October of 2024. So if you remember SCHD trading way higher than 27 bucks in 2023, you're not crazy. My share count tripled, my cost per share got divided by 3, so it's the same money and more shares. Nothing actually changed. And if you don't know what SCHD even is, the short version is this. It's a fund that holds about 100 US companies, and to even be eligible, a company has to have paid a dividend for 10 straight years. That's the screen. It isn't chasing the biggest yield on the board. It's holding companies that have already proven they can keep paying. Okay, what does it pay? SCHD pays 4 times a year. Here are my last 4 payments straight off the statements. September 2025, $542.60. December 2025, $687.50. March of this year, $607.74. And this past June, $641.67. And those 4 add up, and it's $2,479.57 over the last 12 months. And divide that by 12, and you're at about $207 a month. Now, look at these 4 numbers again, because I want to be straight with you about something. That is not a clean line going up. December was the biggest, and then March dropped, then June came back up. 2 things are going on here. 1, the fund doesn't pay the same amount every quarter. December tends to run heavier. 2, and this is the part most people miss, my share count was different at every single one of those payments. I was buying the whole time. So you can't line those 4 numbers up next to each other and call it dividend growth. It isn't a fair comparison, and not going to pretend it is. So $207 a month. My goal is $10,000 a month in dividends, which means my single biggest dividend growth position, $67,000 in 3.5 years of buying every Friday, is covering about 2% of the goal. 2%. I could dress that up to sound better, but I'm not going to. That's where I actually am. And here's the honest conclusion I can draw from that number. I am not getting to $10,000 a month by buying shares $1,000 at a time. The math doesn't work, not in any timeline I care about. What gets me there is the business side. The next 10 years, I have to absolutely crush it as an entrepreneur. Build companies, grow them, and move that money into positions like this one. I'm not counting on luck, and I'm not counting on picking some rocket ship. I'm counting on the one thing I've actually done for 20 years, which is grow companies. The same thing every company inside this fund had to do to earn its spot in it. The dividends aren't the engine. My businesses are the engine. This position is just where the money lands. And here's something about this position that's true of nothing else I own. SCHD is the only thing in my entire portfolio that I automatically reinvest. Every dividend it pays buys more shares of itself, and I never touch it. Every other dividend I collect, and I collect from a lot of places, comes to me as cash. People ask me why. It isn't complicated. I have complete confidence in this position long term. Not confidence that it beats the market this year, confidence that in 15 years, it's still there, still paying, still raising. That's a different kind of confidence, and it's the only kind that matters for something you plan to hold forever. The second reason is about price. A lot of what I own swings hard. There are stocks I like where I look at the price and on some random Tuesday and think, not today, nah, that's too expensive. I'm not buying up here. I have to make a decision. SCHD doesn't do that to me. It's stable enough that I'm comfortable buying it at basically any price, any week of the year. So I don't need to be in the room for that decision at all. I let it run on autopilot. Everything else, I want my hands on. Every Friday, I look at what I'm holding and I put that week's 1,000 plus any extra dividends wherever I think I'm getting the most value right now. That's an active call, and I want to make it, but I don't want to make 40 active calls. I want to make a few good ones. SCHD earned its automation by being one of the positions I never have to think about. Now, the part where I tell you I got something wrong. This whole position sits in a regular taxable account, not a retirement account, which means every one of those payments I just read you got taxed the year I received it, whether I spent it or not. And I didn't spend it. It went right back into buying more shares and gets taxed anyway. There's a reason I did it that way, and I stand behind it. I need access to this money. I'm an entrepreneur. Things come up, opportunities come up, I hope, and money locked away until I'm 60 is money I can't move. I've also said before that eventually I plan to borrow against this position instead of selling it, and that's not really something you do inside a retirement account. So that's the defense, and here's the confession. If I could go back and do it over, I'd have been putting SCHD inside a retirement account for the last 15 years. Not this position. This one's only 3.5 years old. I mean, if I'd started back when this fund launched and had the discipline to shelter it, 15 years of reinvesting without getting taxed along the way is a real difference. That's a mistake I made, and it was never the fund, it was the address I gave it. So if you're young and you've got room in a retirement account, that's where something like this belongs. Learn that from me instead of learning it the way I did. One last thing, my goal was 3,000 shares by the end of this year. I'm sitting on 2,444. That's 556 shares short with a few months left. And I'll tell you exactly why I'm behind. I started Glazed, which is a men's beauty brand, and manufacturing a physical product can eat cash faster than you think. Every dollar that went into inventory this year is a dollar that didn't buy SCHD on a Friday. If I hadn't started that brand, I'd already be at 3,000 shares. I'd be there today. I'm not upset about it. That was a choice, and I made it on purpose. Here's how I think about the risk. I take very little risk with my investments like SCHD. It's a boring fund with 100 companies, 10 years of paid dividends required just to get in the door. Almost no risk there on purpose. But I'll take a real risk on a business because a business is the only thing that can get me to $10,000 a month faster than buying $1,000 a stock every Friday at 49. If you start younger and invest smarter, you wouldn't have to be in the same position as I'm in today. Boring investments, aggressive business, that's my whole strategy. So that's the real number, about $207 a month off $67,000. 3.5 years in, and I'm behind my own share goal. That's not impressive, but that's my real story. And if 200 a month sounds small to you, you should see what it actually takes to get to 1,000 a month in dividends. Almost everybody guesses that number wrong. I broke the whole thing down in the video on your screen right now. Go watch that one next.